Well, hey folks, Real on with John Ritland. It's my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 28 Night 14 event. And oh my god, the last two matches you have to watch. Tomohiro Ishii versus Kenny Omega and Naito versus Ibushi. You have to watch those matches. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. If you love New Japan, if you're even a casual New Japan fan, you will love those last two matches. Now, I'm going to talk about the rest of the card first. You had the typical matches to hype the A block that was going to happen, the following night. And then, of course, with the A block matches tomorrow, they'll have tag matches to hype the future B block matches. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty where there's only 3 guys in each block that are eligible to still win the G1. And it's really going to come down, I think, to the final day. Maybe. The way they're telling the story and everything, telling the story in the ring and telling the story with the point system, I think there is a damn good chance it can come down to the last day, which is how a tournament should go. Anyway, Kevin Kelly, Rocky Romero on commentary, providing some great insight as always. And Rocky Romero got involved in a match that ended up costing him. It was kind of humorous. I'll get to that in a minute. Sho and Yoshihashi versus Tongalo and Bad Luck Fale. It was hype for Yoshihashi and Fale and apeshit on Sho. I mean, come on, of course that was going to happen. Tongalo's finisher, and there we go, 1, 2, 3. It wasn't a bad match. It wasn't a great. It was okay. It was an okay opener. And I might rush through some of these tag matches because honestly, they were decent, but there wasn't anything great about them. If you skip them, you're not missing much. But I do encourage people to watch every single match if they can. Like I said, you got to watch the last 2 matches on this. My God, they woke me up, and I've been basically running on 2 hours of sleep the past 2 days. Anyway, Hangman Page and Chase Owens versus Minoru Suzuki and El Desperado. Well, it's hype for Suzuki and Hangman Page. Hangman, good luck, man. Good luck. Suzuki's just tremendous. Of course, the action did go outside. Good guardrail usage. Gotch pile driver on Chase Owens for the win. Shockingly, yes, Chase Owens took the pinfall. It was enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. Anytime you get Minoru Suzuki in a match and people are trying to forearm him and he just freaking smiles and even starts laughing, you know that things are about to go down. But Hangman Page versus Minoru Suzuki should be very interesting. I'm going to say this much. I wouldn't be shocked if Page won. I don't think he will. I think Suzuki will win. I wouldn't be shocked if Page got the victory. I mean, he could. He's been shining even in defeat, and he has gotten a couple victories. I mean, one by DQ, but he did get one over Makabe recently. That could be very, very fun. And he's done pretty well in this tournament. Anyway, we go on to the next one. Speaking of Makabe and Hanare versus Jay White and Yo. Jay White, yo. Of course, as the announcer says, and somebody who likes some of my tweets on Twitter, I think has the username Jay Whiteo, which is pretty cool. A bunch of O's at the end. It was hype for Jay White versus Makabe, which should certainly be a fun match. Young gun against a really hardened veteran who is still really in a good physical prime. He's really able to throw out some good performances. And guardrail spots, the commentary did not get knocked off the air, thankfully. Hanare did well, as you would expect. Blade Runner, 1, 2, 3. And then while Jay White was attacking Hanare with a chair, he lured Makabe in, hit Makabe, and then handed Yo the chair. It's like, okay, come on, hit him with the chair, and Yo wouldn't do it. So you're getting more of the stuff. Is Jay White going to be able to corrupt Yo over Roppongi 3K? Is Roppongi 3K going to split up? Is Jay White just essentially doing this because he knows he's going to be kicked out of Chaos pretty soon? Who knows? It's going to be pretty interesting. But yeah, Jay White and Yo win. And then Tanahashi and Shota Umino. Shota getting a late spot in the card. That's pretty good for him. They face off against Michael Elgin and David Finley's hype for Tanahashi versus Michael Elgin, which I hope Tanahashi wins. Because honestly, Elgin doesn't need the victory. Elgin was taped up a lot. Is he dealing with a whole lot of injuries? I mean, he's definitely dealing with a bicep injury, but anyway. Some good hits. I mean, you would expect that in this match. Stunner on Shota, 1, 2, 3. Finley gets the victory, of course. Anytime a young lion's in there, unless Gato's in the other side. And even then, the young lion might pin Gato at this point. He's taken so many damn falls. You have that, and Tanahashi versus Elgin will be interesting, but Tanahashi's got to win. There's just no... I know they have spoilers, and I know they have people, you know, win shockingly. They do not need to have Michael Elgin win. Tanahashi winning would not be the end of the world. Because who's to say something couldn't happen in that last day to change the whole damn result and have Jay White shockingly get in, you know, as the finals, as the A block finalist. Who knows? And then we had Okada and Gato versus Evil and Bushi. Gee, I wonder who took the fall in this. Honestly, anybody want to guess? I mean, I'm going to tell you anyway. Of course, it was Gato. It was hype for Evil versus Okada, which should certainly be interesting. Okada's still alive in the A block. Evil could play spoiler and knock Okada out. I don't think he's going to, but there was a cool point where Okada went for everything as Evil, and Evil hit his own Rainmaker and hit it flush. I mean, hit it damn good. But then Bushi ends up hitting Gato soon after. Okay, whatever. It happened. And then we move on to the first two B block matches. One was funny and short, so it served its purpose. The other one, and I think you're going to guess who was involved in the Yano versus Sonata. This was more comedic. Yano attacked Sonata during Sonata's entrance. I don't know if Yano was hiding under the entrance ramp or hiding in the crowd. I'm not sure. But he tries to tape Sonata's hand to the guardrail. Sonata ends up getting... ends up changing that. But during the entrance part, he actually tries the Paradise Lock that Sonata does, and Yano put his shirt around his legs, so Sonata's having to hop to the ring. That was pretty cool. And then the guardrail spot, there were some good humorous spots and a little bit of good wrestling, because Yano actually can wrestle, and Sonata's just on a whole other level. And that's not including his hair. Even though his hair is amazing. Much like Tanahashi's hair. Great hair in Japan. What is the secret? I want to know. Because clearly I don't have the secret for hair, because I have to keep mine this short because it looks ridiculous. Anyway. You had Yano get trapped in the Paradise Lock. And the whole thing the Sonata does. And only Milano Collection AT has the key. Running gag, I suppose. But anyway... Yano's trapped, and Rocky Romero, helping out his Chaos brethren, tips Yano over, and Yano's able to get back in the ring. Well, then soon after that, Sonata and Yano are fighting out there. Sonata pulls a piece of the guardrail and grabs this tape that Yano tried using earlier, puts Yano in the Paradise Lock, wrapped up in the guardrail, and then tapes the guardrail to the ring post. So now Yano can't get away, because even if he tried to get out of the Paradise Lock, he's trapped on the thing. I mean, in theory. But then Rocky Romero tries helping, and he gets locked into Paradise Lock. And the funniest damn moment, his face is in the ground. He's like, ow, my forehead. And he's yelling into, maybe not even his headset, but yelling enough to where like the headset or a microphone's picking it up. Kevin Kelly, help me. Go get Milano. He's got the key for the Paradise Lock. It's just hilarious that Rocky was doing that. Really good shit. I really did enjoy that. It was really enjoyable, really humorous. Rocky serving a purpose, reminding us that he actually can be humorous, doing wrestling. I mean, he still is a really good wrestler. I think he's going to transition to being a commentator sooner than later. And I'm not opposed to that, because Rocky Romero is damn good. And I think that if they kept Kevin Kelly, Rocky Romero on commentary more often, I would actually pay, even more attention to the English commentary team that New Japan has. Nothing against Kevin Kelly and Don Callis. They have a good dynamic. Callis seems more interested in putting himself over. Yeah, Rocky plugs his merch and stuff like that. And sides with Chaos, especially his Republican 3K boys. But he also does put over people properly. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But anyway, Sonata gets victory via countout because Yano can't get away from the Paradise Lock. So okay, it was like a 7-minute match. Might even meant 6 minutes. It was humorous and served its purpose. And then you had Goto versus Tamatonga, and shock of shock, interference happened. There were some good hits in this stuff, but it was interference city, bitch. That's all it was. Tonga Loa interfering a whole bunch. Why in the world is Tonga Loa allowed outside? I mean, outside the ring. I mean, I get that it's to serve a purpose for the storylines, but now it's gone. And shout out to the people who's mentioned in the comments on here. To me, on the various videos that I've done, various G1 videos I've done, At this point, it is lazy booking. It really is lazy booking. You had at one point, like Goto hit the GTR and was about to get the pin, and then Bad Luck Fale runs down, pulls Marty Asami out, and drills Marty Asami into the, at least I believe that's how you say his last name, drills him right into the freaking guardrails. Like, ouch. I was really concerned he was okay. Hopefully he is. Because that did look kind of brutal. But anyway, then Red Shoes comes down. It looks like Red Shoes is going to, because he's called down there because Marty is, likely crippled. I mean, he's not crippled, but still hurt. Red Shoes is going to make the count and then just flips off both of them. And it's just, it just does that. And that great visual, by the way. Great. Can't wait till people gift that. I'm not saying people will. But anyway, he just flips them both off and calls for a DQ. So Goto, I believe, moves up to 6 or something like that. I think it's 6. And Tama Tonga remains at 4. And just at this point, it's just such lazy booking to do this shit. It just is. It just, honest to God, is. But yeah, Goto wins by DQ. Okay. At this point, I'm almost tuning out of every single match that Tama Tonga or Bad Luck Fale are in. And I like Bad Luck Fale. I love Tama Tonga. Both of them are good. Fale is good for being a monster. Tama Tonga is just great because he is very, very skilled and very outspoken. But the booking of this just is lazy. It's not helping either guy. Anyway. And we have Juice Robinson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Neither guy is eligible to win the B block. That's okay. Because this was a very, very good match. And a way to tease the whole thing of Sabre Jr. possibly beating Juice down the road for the U.S. title. There are a lot of challengers that Juice Robinson is going to have that he could have throughout the rest of the year, playing into that whole thing with the hand, and that's something that Sabre Jr. focused on, along with every other body part and possibly organ that Juice Robinson had. Sweet Jesus, Sabre Jr. isn't human. He truly is a submission master. My God, this is great. If you guys get a chance, watch this stuff. You'll see what I mean. Juice did well. He even took off the cast one point and went to hit Sabre Jr. and actually did hit him. And it wasn't the best hit. I mean, I just want to say that much right there. It was kind of pulled up. But Juice was like selling that he hurt his hand and this kind of stuff. And that played into later where friggin' Sabre Jr. just ties him up. He ties up his arm, the broken hand. Ties up the other arm by bending it. Ties up one leg when Juice tries to get to the ropes. Ties up the other leg and just has him in it's like a human pretzel. And that's not even me like making a joke out of it. He literally looked like a human pretzel. And Juice ends up giving up. Because he can't get to the goddamn ropes. What's he going to do? Pass out? I mean, he could have. But Sabre Jr. gets a victory. Holds the U.S. title. He didn't win it. But that's maybe a visual for later. Possibly. Sabre Jr. versus Juice at Wrestle Kingdom for the U.S. title. I'd be for it. There's a lot of good storylines I can go with for the next 5 months. Actually, it would be less than 5 months now at this point. Or no, about 5 months. But anyway, then we get to the 2 matches, and this might go a little bit long, so I apologize compared to my other reviews. Tomohiro Ishii or Ishii. I mean, I say Ishii because I've heard both variations, either Ishii or Ishii. And versus Kenny Omega, and if I'm right, doesn't these two face off in the finals for the IWGP US title? Like, didn't they face up to crown the first ever champion? Am I right about that? Because I seem to recall seeing that match. Great hard hits, the throat chops, this spike DDT to Ishii. I was worried about him. I was worried about Kenny's heel because he did that, Rise of the Terminator dive outside. All the hits to the neck. Ishii didn't have much of a neck anyway. I don't think he's got any kind of neck now. It's like, my God, it's just incredible watching this. All the hard hits, all the stuff, great, V-triggers, the great selling, the great wrestling. And it was great wrestling. Yes, there was a lot of no-selling at times. But it served a purpose. They did a burst of adrenaline and they're put down. Burst of adrenaline and the other one's put down. It served its purpose. It did its job. It did well. This was very, very good stuff. I do hope Tomohiro Ishii is okay, though. All those hits to the neck, all the landing on the neck. And Omega bled from the mouth, too. And I mean, him and Kota Ibushi both bled from the mouth in their respective matches. A little bit of storytelling, a little bit of a way. I think it's just coincidence. it's a nice little thing about how they're going to be intertwined here by the end of this G1. But anyway, I honestly God have no words. You guys have to watch this damn match. Tomohiro Ishii beat Kenny Omega, but the first blemish on Kenny Omega's record. So now this opens the door for Naito and Ibushi to battle to see which one could be second place. And my God, it's really good. It's great storytelling. I didn't even think... I was hoping that somehow Ishii would get the victory over Omega. I didn't think he would. I didn't think they'd go with it. But they did. I'm so glad they did. And Ishii earned it. Ishii has been involved in... Tomohiro has been involved in 3 of the best matches of the G1. Bar none. There is no argument. I mean, and you guys can think otherwise if you want. That's fine. But my God, his matches have just been... He's delivered great even in defeat. He put on a great performance with Tama Tonga, even though that match wasn't very good. Because of all the interference. That wasn't Ishii or Tama Tonga's fault. But all the interference struck it down. But that was still probably the best match that they've booked Tama Tonga in this G1. And it was with Ishii. This is just very, very good. Really no complaints. And Tomohiro beating Kenny Omega was absolutely fantastic. Could we see an IWGP heavyweight title match between these two before Wrestle Kingdom? Yes. We've got to. It's got to happen. Maybe it'll happen at the special in September, on September 30th. I believe they got a U.S. special back at the Walter Pyramid. And then, so Kenny Omega stays at 12 points. Ishii is just not disqualified, but he's not eligible to win the block. But then Naito and Ibushi. Naito was at 10 points, and his only loss was to Omega. So if he won, he would go 12. Ibushi was at 8. If Ibushi wins, he goes to 10 and would have a tiebreaker over Naito, the same that Omega has a tiebreaker over Naito. And this was really, really good. Naito focused on the neck and knee of Ibushi. The landing on the neck, my God, please, after the Hiromu Takahashi injury, please stop landing on your goddamn neck so much. And I get it. These guys are professionals. They know what they're doing, but the human neck is not meant to bend the ways that they're trying to make their necks bend. And the announcer's table spot, I mean, there wasn't anybody being drilled through the table or anything. But that was kind of cool. Ibushi is just incredibly smooth, just hits picture-perfect moonsaults, dives, just great drop kick. I think him and Okada probably have the 2 best drop kicks. And I would put Okada's up top, my opinion. But this was just fantastic. Just the great... Naito was booed very heavily. I mean, he got some cheers like in the beginning of his entrance, but right from the bell, just his actions and everything, he was getting booed a lot. I mean, a lot. And Ibushi was getting cheered. Ibushi got spit on a couple times by Naito. A lot of neck spots, as I said. Kamigoye for the win after Destino failed to put Ibushi down. And my God, Ibushi got the victory after Kamigoye, so 10 points each. This was damn good. These 2 matches, the last 2 matches, are going on my favorite G1 matches of the year. Maybe even a couple of Ishii matches might make it to my favorite matches of the year list. It's going to be very difficult to come up with my, just even a top 20 of my favorite matches for New Japan, period. And I get it. Okay, it's not for everybody, but still, the match quality has been tremendous. So anyway, I'm going to say A-. A- for the Omega and Ishii match, and Naito and Ibushi. Sabre Jr. versus Juice also. A-. I'll go B+. I'll actually go B+. Because had it not been for Ishii and Omega and Naito versus Ibushi being so damn good, this actually probably would have been a C show. Those 2 matches alone lifted this up about a grade and a quarter, a grade and a half, or something like that. But anyway, so I'm going to say that. So anyway, thank you guys for sitting through the review. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for making New Japan reviews popular. I will be back here with a Night 15 review, Night 50 review. That'd be a long tournament. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Twitter link in the description. Let me know what you guys think by leaving the comments below. It's been Real Honesty with John Rittland, and I will see you soon.